What's going on, everybody? Mortem here, this time bringing you a look at Ghostwire Tokyo's newest update, the Spider's Thread, which is a pretty sizable free update. Doesn't cost anything. As long as you own the game, you'll get access to all this content, but it brings both a new game mode as well as new side quests and content to the main game. So needless to say, it's the most substantial update Ghostwire Tokyo has gotten since it launched, with the rest just being small, mostly cosmetic updates, which I think is interesting because upon the game's launch, it was a game that I reviewed, and while I enjoyed most of it, my main complaint was that the open world was mostly pointless, with it being filled with a variety of collectibles and not much else. However, a lot of the side content, like chasing down the various yokai, and some of the more interesting side quests were a lot of fun. Most of that was really bogged down with the collectathon of the open world, and this particular update does basically nothing to address that, even if it does still add some cool things. So we are going to talk about what it adds to the main campaign, and then we will talk a little bit about the new Roguelite Mode. So when it comes to content for the base game, several new side quests and a few new areas on the map to explore, which mostly serve for the new side quests. Our first set of side quests sees us going to a variety of locations around the city, looking for where various photographs were taken so we can help the people who were trapped in them by basically replicating the photo, which makes use, of course, of the game's new photo mode that was added later, and of the side quest stuff, it's fairly uninteresting. However, the other side quest that they added was incredible. It was actually really cool, and it's easily my favorite part of this game now. And it sees us investigating the disappearance of a bunch of kids at a middle school. And needless to say, they leaned all the way into it, and it really pays off. This was probably the most immersed in this game that I ever was, and while I don't want to spoil it for people, I would urge you, if nothing else, to check out this update just to play through this side quest, because it is really cool. But believe it or not, there is still a few other things that were added to the main game as well, but truth be told, this is pretty basic stuff. We have new skills for our character to unlock, which include things like a basic dodge function as well as a block counterattack, alongside some charged elemental abilities that keep you from kind of just spamming attack, alongside adding some new consumable items to use in combat as well. So while these won't fundamentally change the combat, they do help mix it up a tiny bit, though if anything, I think these changes really just drive home the fact that the visuals of combat were really more the focus going into the launch, because clearly this is some pretty basic stuff that they added over a year after the game launched. But they've also added some new enemies for you to test these things on, some of which you will certainly see across the new side quests. That, though, does bring us to the main portion of the update, which is the Spider's Thread, the new Roguelite Mode. This is standalone from the main campaign, of course, and we kicked this off as a technically fresh character, so to speak, but the gist of it is a giant spider is causing all sorts of problems, and the Tatari would like you to go kill the thing, which requires you to descend into its web by tackling various instances and descending further, which basically sees you running through a variety of different rooms with different objectives, such as just making it to the other side in some cases, or fighting various spirits in others. And this is coupled with optional objectives as well as things to find in the levels themselves, most of which give you a new currency, because progression in this roguelite system works a bit differently from the main game, as all of our skills are unlocked by gathering up a currency which we can then use to unlock said skills. The more we complete, the more we increase our synergy level, which also unlocks a variety of other things around what acts as our sort of main hub, which is this sort of cat shop where we can handle the other parts of the game, such as our various prayer beads, which can help you out in combat, or take on a variety of jobs from the cats themselves, which will give you all sorts of rewards, such as keeping your currency upon death. Now, assuming you actually die, you have to start your run over again, but your progress with your skill, prayer beads, jobs, all that stuff remains, with basically the only thing that really gets reset, so to speak, is actually your currency that you had at the time that you died. So it's not something you want to hold on to, and your best option is to use it to upgrade, etc. But as for the roguelite itself, it's solid enough. I don't really have any complaints per se. It just seems like an odd addition to the title, to be honest, because as you might imagine, a decent amount of it is combat focused, twist, which never really felt like it was the forte of Ghostwire Tokyo anyway, but some of the elements of the various floors will see you doing things like actually trying to avoid enemies, that is to say sneaking past them. So while I sincerely doubt this roguelite mode is going to blow anybody away, it's a decent enough addition, especially considering that it is free with the base game. So it's not like you have to pay for this as DLC or something, and as a result of that, I would say this is a welcome update just because it significantly expands the base game. So if you can find Ghostwire Tokyo on sale or something, or you already own it, there's a little bit more content here for you to check out now. And again, I would highly recommend you check out that side quest involving the middle school, as that was tremendously well done. That though is going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed the information about the new Spider Threads update for the game. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube jazz, but regardless of any of that, truly, just thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. May you wander in wisdom and have an amazing day.